Hello. If I haven't had an opportunity to meet you yet, my name's Kris. It's really nice to be practicing yoga with you today. Today we're going to have a little different venue since we're all trying different things in the current moment. And so for the first time ever, I'm going to practice yoga in my backyard on the grass. Why don't we all get started by taking a seat, getting nice and comfortable, just allowing our body to relax. Taking some deep inhales and exhales. Just setting an intention for our practice today. Allowing our body to relax, our mind to wander, and just to focus on the here and now. We'll take an intention, sealing that intention for our practice with a long inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, holding at the top of our breath, and exhaling 2, 3, 4, and one more deep inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. We could slowly flutter open our eyes, inhaling our arms up to the sky, maybe clasping those fingers, pushing it away, and slowly dropping that right hand to the right, left arm nice and over, maybe looking up towards the sky, or maybe taking some gentle movement in the body. Just rolling that shoulder forward and back. And then slowly we can return through center and go to the second side. Left arm to the ground, right arm up to the sky, one shoulder stacked above the other, either remaining here or maybe finding some subtle body movement, opening up those shoulders. And then slowly we can inhale both hands up to the sky, pressing those palms away. And we'll form a C shape with that spine, pushing those palms out in front, chin towards chest. And inhaling up and releasing. We could have our right hand to the floor, slowly bringing that chin towards the chest. And all the way over, right ear to that right side. Just opening up that neck nice and long. Either staying here, or maybe taking that left arm behind the back, maybe clasping that arm, that forearm, whatever feels comfortable, or even just leaving it out to the side. Finding that nice long stretch on that left side neck. And if you have that bind, we'll slowly release it. Bring that chin towards center and to that second side. Again, we could leave both hands down or maybe taking that right hand behind the back, finding a bind by the elbow, the forearm, whatever feels comfortable. And slowly releasing, bringing that chin back through center, and inhaling that head up. All right, let's slowly roll towards our back and just begin a little core work. We can bring our feet into that reverse table, belly button to spine, hands behind our head, really engaging that core, and we'll take some yogi bicycles, opposite elbow, opposite knee. Maybe inhaling to one side, exhaling to the second side. Moving at whatever speed feels comfortable for our body. We can move quicker than I am, or a little bit slower. Again, really attending to that core, making sure that belly button's all the way to the spine, and we're not cheating with those elbows, finding that nice full twist. And we'll continue for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll bring those knees into the chest, just relaxing our head down, relaxing that core for a moment. And then we can bring both toes up to the sky, hands down by those hips, belly button to spine. Maybe slowly starting to bring that right foot down, 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 down to a hover. Maybe finding that nice inner rotation of those inner thighs. Releasing that and slowly bringing those right toes up, 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 up. And then slowly starting to bring that left leg down, 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 down. Finding that nice hover. Then finding that inner spiral of those inner thighs. All that energy towards that midline, our core, our center. And we can release and slowly come up, 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 up. And then firmly rooting our hands to our mat. We'll drop those toes about 2 inches. And then maybe 2 more inches. Belly button to spine, engaging that core. 2 more inches. And maybe 2 more inches. We're about halfway there. We can stay wherever we start to feel some of that energy, or maybe we drop them down 2 more inches. And maybe 2 more inches. And maybe 2 more inches. And maybe we hover, and hover, and hover, and hover. And we can release nice and long. Just allowing that core just to relax for a moment. And then we can bring those knees into the chest, giving ourselves that little sacral massage. And then slowly bring both toes back up to the sky. Hands behind the head, belly button to spine. Rolling up those shoulder blades. We'll start by bringing that left leg down to a hover. Maybe that left arm over that right leg. And we'll take our happy clams, exhaling up and inhaling down. Exhale and inhale, maybe trying for 8 to 10 on this first side. And 4. And exhale 5. And exhale 6. And 7. Exhale 8. Just 2 more for 9. And 10 and hold. And slowly release and extend those arms and legs nice and long. Just giving that core a little release. Before we move to that second side, both toes up to the sky, hands behind the head, belly button to spine. Maybe that right leg down to a hover. Right arm over that left leg. And happy clamp, second side, same number. Exhaling up and inhaling down. And exhale 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. And 9. And 10 and hold. And then slowly releasing. Releasing that core. Maybe giving yourself a little hug. Just taking a little hip work. We'll open up those feet into that happy baby. Belly button to spine. Hands behind those thighs. Between those thighs. And we'll exhale up and inhale down for some happy baby crunches. Maybe trying for 10 here. Exhaling up. Inhaling down for 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. And release. And slowly we'll come all the way up for that nice tabletop position, firmly planting those hands beneath those shoulders, those knees beneath those hips, and taking just a couple cat-cows to get that out of our system. Exhaling up to that scared cat, and inhaling up to that cow. Exhaling, rounding that spine, chin towards chest. And inhaling, dropping that belly, lifting those hips and that heart. Maybe just a couple more on your own. You can also mix in some barrel rolls if that would feel good for your practice. And from here, we'll plant those hands, tuck those toes, and move towards our first down dog. So first down dog, feel free to walk that dog, maybe bending through one knee, and then the second, just until you can come to that nice still pose. And we'll step, jump, float, top of our mat. And inhale, flat spine. And exhale, release. Let's inhale those arms up to the sky. And exhale, heart center. And moving through that full vinyasa, inhaling up. And exhale, release. And inhale, flat spine. Let's step, jump, float. All the way through our vinyasa. Taking a breath or two once you get there. And we can step, jump, float, top of our mats. And inhale, flat spine. Exhale, release. Inhale those fingers up to the sky. And exhale, heart center. One more full vinyasa, inhaling up. And exhale, release. And inhale, flat spine. And we'll step, jump, float. Meeting on our own breaths in that nice down dog. We'll inhale those right toes up to the sky, maybe bending that knee, opening that hip. You can always take a peek underneath that right armpit. And then right toes up to the sky, and all the way through to that warrior one. Back foot to that 45-degree angle. Right knee, right over that right heel. Hands can either stay at hips, in goalposts, or maybe up to the sky. We'll take those hands to heart center, engaging that core. Let's twist to the right. And inhale, release, warrior one. And let's move through that vinyasa. And in that down dog, maybe sweeping those right toes up to the sky. Right knee, right elbow. Inhale back. And to the forehead. And inhale back. And to the left. And inhale back. And to the right, maybe try that arm balance. And inhale back. To the forehead. And inhale back. And to the left. Inhale back. And down dog. And then we'll inhale those left toes up to the sky, three-legged. We'll bend that knee, open that hip. Maybe looking underneath that left armpit. And then left toes up to the sky and all the way through. Warrior one, second side. Again, back foot to that 45-degree angle. That left knee right over that left heel. Hands wherever feels comfortable. And we'll take those hands through heart center, engaging that core, and twist to the left. And inhale up. And all the way through that vinyasa. Taking a breath or two in that vinyasa, that down dog once you're there. And then maybe inhaling those left toes up to the sky. Left knee, left elbow. And inhale back. And to the forehead. And inhale back. And to the right. And inhale back. Once more to the left. Maybe even try that arm balance. Maybe even hooking in that elbow to help that support. And to the forehead. And inhale back. And to the right. And inhale back to that three-legged and to that down dog. And let's inhale forward to that plank. Really holding that plank, fingers open nice and wide. Hips even with those shoulders. Maybe even picking those right toes up about hip height. And we can drop those right toes. Maybe left toes hip height. And we can drop those left toes, down dog. And let's step, jump, float, top of our mats. And inhale, flat spine. Exhale, release. We'll bend those knees, chair pose. So starting in that chair, making sure we can see those toes in front of those knees. Hands can be towards hips. They can come up to goal post or maybe overhead. We'll be in that nice lightning bolt shape. Maybe bringing those hands to heart center, engaging the core, and twisting to the right. Allowing that twist to detoxify the body. Getting rid of all those toxins, rinsing out that spine. Inhaling those arms up. And maybe we twist to the left. Stacking one shoulder on the other. One elbow on top of the other. And inhale, up chair. Maybe testing that core. Picking up both heels. Testing that balance. And we can drop those heels and forward fold. And inhale, up flat spine. Exhale, release, and we'll take that vinyasa. Jumping back plank to chaturanga. Inhaling to that upward facing. And then exhaling to that downward facing dog. Let's inhale forward and come to that Vashisthasana, side plank. Planting that left hand to the center of the mat. Right hand overhead, stacking those shoulders, playing here, maybe testing that balance. And then maybe we can all catch that toe, test those splits, or bring that right foot all the way up to the top of the mat, towards that lizard prep, just opening up our hips here. Many of us have probably been sitting for some time, not practicing opening up those hips. Either staying here with those palms to the floor, or maybe forearms to a block, or to the mat. Maybe shaking that head yes and no, releasing any tension from that head or neck. And then slowly, we can walk those palms up, drop to the back knee if we're not already there. Maybe left finger's a little off the mat. Maybe bending into that knee, catching that foot, opening up that heart to the sky, opening up those hips. We can always amplify by bringing that left forearm down as long as we can keep that heart up nice and high. Whatever feels most comfortable for your body today. And then slowly we'll release. Walking that right foot back through center, popping back, and those left toes all the way back three-legged, and down dog. And then second side, inhaling forward to plank, maybe right hand to the center of the mat, Vashisthasana, second side. Stacking left over right, maybe testing that balance. Maybe some of us even test to see if we could grab that toe, practicing those splits. And wherever we are, maybe grabbing that toe, bringing it up to the left side of the mat, towards our lizard pose, second side. Either staying on the palms of those hands, bringing those forearms down to a block, or to the floor. And then again, shaking that head yes and no. Just breathing here through this hip opening. And then slowly we'll come up to the palms of our hands, dropping down to that back knee. Maybe right finger's a little off the mat. Left hand to that left hip, opening up the heart. Either staying here or maybe bending into that back knee. Catching that toe as long as we can keep shifting those hips forward. Again, either staying here or coming down to that right forearm. Only if that heart can stay up nice and high. I'll stay in this pose. And then slowly we'll release that back foot, recentering that left hand through center, planting both palms to the floor, tucking those right toes, and back three-legged, and down dog. We'll walk those feet about mat's distance, toes off, heels on, and slowly walk back towards our malasana, our hip opening pose. Again, just opening up our hips a little bit more. Maybe some of us have been stuck working from home. Maybe the only thing we're doing is running or sitting. And so our hips might be very tight. Just loosening up those hips. And then slowly, we'll drop those hands to the floor, tuck those toes in and come towards that forward fold. We'll just move a little, taking those Pilates roll-ups, inhaling, keeping those arms by those ears, all the way up, nice and long. And let's exhale down, walking all the way forward, planting those hands to the top of the mat, and we'll take a chaturanga and hold. And inhale up, and chaturanga and hold, and inhale up, and slowly start to walk back to that forward fold. And keeping those arms by those ears, we'll roll up one vertebra by vertebra, bringing those arms overhead, and then taking one more, rolling down, and slowly walking those hands forward towards that plank. Eyes of the elbows forward. We'll take that chaturanga and hold. And inhale up. And chaturanga. And inhale up. And all the way back. And rolling all the way up. Arms by those ears. And Tadasana. All right, we'll move with a little bit more cardio in a second. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold. And inhale, heart center. Exhale, release. And walking up through that plank, through that chaturanga. And upward facing. And meeting in that downward facing dog. So now I know I've not been moving as much as I want to. So I want to pick up my cardio, practice some of the things I can do. And so I'll inhale to the balls of my feet. I'll bend my knees, eye gaze forward between those fingers. And I'm going to jump up all the way to my malasana pose, opening up my hips. And then I'm going to plant my hands and I'm going to jump back to down dog. And then let's take that for 4 more times. So inhale up and malasana. And plant those hands and down dog. And malasana. And down dog. And malasana. And down dog. And malasana. And down dog. And just for the last time, we'll come up to that malasana. And then for Miss Stewie, I'm going to turn around to face you. Who maybe has had time now to look up Richard Simmons. We're going to practice our little malasana kick-ups just to give our booty and our hamstrings a little work. So we'll just kick up our knee to that armpit. And then the second. Getting some nice glute work, some work in those quads, and of course, if you want to add a little action, we can add those arms and be like Richard Simmons and celebrate the fact it's nice and warm. And returning to that malasana. We can either stay here or bring that right hand to the floor, the left arm up to the sky. Again, either staying here or dropping that thumb, maybe finding that bind behind the back, lifting the eye gaze towards the sky. And slowly we can release back through heart center. Maybe that second side, left hand to the floor, right arm up to the sky, either dropping that thumb, opening up that heart. And slowly releasing back through heart center. And again, we'll drop those hands. We'll even out those toes and come into that forward fold. Top of the mat. Maybe taking those peace fingers to those big toes, shaking that head yes and no, or taking opposite elbows. Whatever works best for our body today. Maybe shaking that head yes and no. And we can inhale up halfway. Exhale, release. Plant those hands and through a vinyasa, chaturanga, to upward facing, all the way to down dog. Let's inhale those right toes up to the sky and all the way through. And we'll take that high lunge. Let's take a little bit more quad work. And maybe we'll exhale down to that hover, inhale up for 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and hold. Let's drop that left hand to the ground, right arm up to the sky. Nice twist, either staying here or tenting those bottom fingers and slowly inhaling up for that nice twisted lunge. Maybe taking that back hand to the back of the leg and inhaling up. And then we can release left arm forward, right arm back. Maybe walking those toes up and into a variation of that warrior 3. A little uneven surface here, so feels a little interesting, woo, for my body. And back to that high lunge. And through a vinyasa. Chaturanga. Through upward facing to downward facing. And right toes back up to the sky. All the way through to that lunge prep. Let's drop to that back knee. Maybe come to the top of that back foot. And slowly come back to that runner's lunge. Maybe taking our hands to the foot or to either side of our body, maybe using some blocks. Maybe head towards knee. Either staying here or maybe slowly turning to your right side, bringing that right pinky toe towards the right side of the mat. Just finding a little IT work. And then slowly releasing, coming back to that nice low lunge. And all the way back to down dog. And then left toes up to the sky and all the way through to that high lunge. Making sure we're nice and even here, and then let's take those dips for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and hold. We'll drop that right hand to the floor, left arm up to the sky. Either hanging out here, or maybe we tent those right fingers and come all the way up to that twisted lunge. We could stay in this nice twisted lunge, or maybe that back hand to the back thigh, coming into that nice heart opener. And we can bring that right arm forward, left arm back, maybe slowly coming up to that warrior 3. And all the way back to that high lunge. And through that vinyasa. That plank through the chaturanga. Upward facing. And downward facing dog. And then left toes up to the sky. And all the way through to that low lunge. We'll drop to that back knee. And come to that runner's lunge. Flexing those left toes back towards us. Maybe that forehead comes towards the knee. Hands can either come to the foot or to either side, whatever works best. Or maybe slowly we start to take those left pinky toe over to the left side, moving the body to the left, just finding a nice IT band opener. And then slowly returning through center, planting into that foot, tucking into those back toes, and down dog. We can either stay here, move forward through plank, and through our vinyasa. And let's step, jump, float, top of our mats. And inhale, flat spine. And exhale, release. We'll bend those knees, chair pose. And let's take our hands through heart center, engaging that core. Maybe bringing that right leg nice and straight. We'll keep that left leg in that chair pose. And then without touching, we'll swing that right foot back, three-legged. And then slowly, without touching, coming back to that half chair. And then back to that warrior 3. Nice little glute work and quad work. Half. And then arms overhead, maybe all the way into that full warrior 3. And then we can drop those hands, right toes up to the sky, standing splits. And maybe we chamber that knee, and inhale up. And chamber that knee, and inhale up. And then chamber that knee, inhale up. And all the way through towards a nice seated twist, twisting over that bent knee to the left. Again, you can either stay here, or if side crows in your practice, feel free to take a side crow here. I don't feel as comfortable on the uneven surface. And then slowly we'll release. We'll sweep that foot behind into that nice tabletop position. And then tuck those toes, down dog. And let's step, jump, float, top of our mats. And inhale, flat spine. And exhale, release. We'll bend those knees, chair pose. Maybe testing that core one more time here. Maybe lifting those heels. And we can release. Hands to heart center, keeping that right knee bent. Taking that half chair with that left leg nice and long. And then without touching, sweeping it back. Warrior 3. And without touching, coming back to that half chair. And we're sweeping back to that warrior 3. And last time to that half chair. Maybe bringing those arms overhead. And all the way into that warrior three, no touching. And we can drop those hands to the floor. Left toes up to the sky, standing split. Any variation, maybe one hand up. Maybe we try to clasp that heel with both hands. Maybe our hands come into prayer. Whatever feels most comfortable. And then if those hands are up, we'll drop into the floor and we'll chamber that left knee. And inhale up. And chamber. And inhale up. And chamber. Inhale up. And all the way down towards that nice seated twist to the right. Again, we can have this nice twist, either hugging that knee or maybe using that elbow to open ourselves up more into that twist. Or again, if side crows in your practice, you can feel free to take it here. Maybe trying it on the grass. And then slowly, we'll release, sweeping that leg back into that tabletop. And maybe taking some cat-cows, just to get that out of the spine. Inhaling to that cow, exhaling to that cat. Taking one or two more with your own breath. And then returning through center, tucking those toes, down dog. And then let's step, jump, float, top of our mats. And inhale, flat spine. Exhale, release. We'll bend those knees, chair pose. And then maybe a little bit more chair. Maybe a little bit more chair. And then maybe we come down to that boat pose, just to take care of our core a little bit more. Maybe we take that low boat. Maybe we flutter those legs, belly button to spine. Bringing those legs together and high boat. Maybe hands to heart. Left elbow, right knee. And inhale through center. Maybe your right elbow, left knee. And inhale back through center. Low boat. Maybe crossing one leg over the other. Again, belly button to spine. Really engaging that core. And bringing those toes together. High boat. Maybe left elbow, right knee. Maybe hovering that left leg. And inhaling through center. Right elbow, left knee. Maybe hovering that right leg. And inhale through center. And we can hug those knees in. And just relax back. Giving ourselves a little hug in our supine pose. All right, moving on with our core from here. We can roll up those shoulder blades, maybe hands behind those heads. We can bring that right leg up to a nice hover, feet nice and straight, left leg up and over, and we'll lift and lower that right leg forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hold, and then we'll scissor those legs forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Oh, just relaxing that core here for a moment. But not resting too long, keeping that energy up, rolling up the shoulder blades, belly button to spine, left leg to that hover, left toes nice and centered, right leg up and over, and we'll lift and lower that left leg forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and bringing those legs together and scissor them out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. And then slowly, we'll roll up those shoulder blades. We'll bring those knees to the chest, belly button to spine. Head's gonna come to that nice hover. almost like we have an orange between our chin and our chest. Belly button to spine, we won't move anything. Keeping that right knee in, left leg out, nice and long to that hover. And we'll switch, 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 switch. Inhaling one side, exhaling the second. Inhaling one, exhaling. Moving with our breath, not yanking back those legs, allowing all our movement to come from our core. And inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keeping that head in that nice stable position. For 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll keep that left knee in, belly button to spine. We'll straighten that leg. And switch, 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 switch. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And if we can't keep that head nice and stable, we'll just move that to the floor. We don't want to jerk that head or neck up and down to protect that head and neck from any injuries. And continuing, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. A nice long spine, arms overhead, stretching those legs out. And we'll move towards those double leg stretches. So again, belly button to spine, knees into the chest, head stays nice and stable. It either stays up or moves down to the floor if we can't keep it in a nice stable position. We will inhale, pointing those toes, bringing those arms out, and exhale those knees to the chest. And inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And hug those knees into the chest and just give yourself a little sacral massage. All right, just one more, testing out those obliques. We'll bring those hands to the floor, toes up to the sky. If this is hard for us, we can always modify with those legs nice and bent. Let's all start with those legs nice and bent. Belly button to spine, bringing both knees to the right. Just hovering here. And then inhaling up and to the left. Really planting those palms into the mat. And inhale up and to the right. And inhale up to the left. And inhale up. We'll all take one more to the right. And inhale up to the left. And inhale up. We'll either keep those knees bent or straighten those legs and shift them to the right. Maybe they don't move all that far. And inhale up to the left. And inhale up to the right. Really plant into those palms. And inhale up to the left. And inhale up, last time to the right. And inhale up to the left. And inhale up. And we'll bring those knees to the chest, just giving ourselves that nice little sacral massage. And then we can bring those hands beneath those thighs and start rocking up and down the length of our spine. And maybe rolling all the way up into that chair pose. And inhale, straighten those knees. And Tadasana. Let's take that full vinyasa, inhaling those arms up. And exhale, fold. And inhale, flat spine. Let's jump, jump, float. All the way through that vinyasa, directly to down dog. We'll all meet on our own time in that downward facing dog. And we can inhale those right toes up to the sky, maybe bending that knee, opening that hip. And inhale those toes up and all the way through to that warrior 2. Knee tracking directly over that heel. Arms out into a nice line, like these over that front middle finger. And we can reverse that warrior, either bringing that hand down that leg or into that bind, maybe catching that upper thigh. And then back to that warrior two. Oh, we have a visitor. Right forearm to that right thigh. And into that extended side angle. And inhaling up to that warrior two. Straightening that front knee. Sticking that bum onto the back, slowly gliding forward. And into that triangle, Trikonasana. And to the shin, to the floor. And we can either stay here, or maybe take that top hand into that half bind. Maybe hanging out here, or maybe that right arm by that right ear. Maybe that left arm by that left ear, holding that beach ball overhead. And we can release to 12 and 6. Bending into that front knee. And let's take a vinyasa, windmilling those arms through plank, either to down dog, or through chaturanga to upward facing. And back towards downward facing dog. And then those left toes up to the sky, bending that knee, opening that hip. Either staying here, or left toes up and all the way through to that warrior two. Again, left knee right over that left ankle, arms out to a T, eye gaze over that front middle finger. We'll reverse that warrior. Eye gaze either up to the thumb or to the pinky toe each side of the back foot on the floor. Back to that warrior two. And that left forearm to that left thigh to that extended side angle. Maybe peeking underneath that armpit. And then coming up to that warrior two. Straightening that front knee. Sticking the bum out to the back. And gliding forward to that triangle. Trikonasana pose on this side. Saying hello to Mr. Sun. Either staying here, or maybe that right hand into that half bind behind our back. Maybe that left arm comes up towards that left ear. Maybe that right arm comes up towards that right ear. Saying hola to our obliques. And we'll release those hands to 12 and 6. And bend into that front knee, warrior two. And let's windmill through a vinyasa. And all on our own time, moving into that downward facing dog. Well, my little guest told me that it's probably about time to hit cool down. And so we'll come to the balls of those feet, bending those knees, eye gaze a little forward. Maybe we can walk, we can step, or maybe we just try to jump as much as we can those legs through into that Dandasana, that staff position. I like to sometimes use blocks next to me on either of my hands to bring my arms up so I can get my legs through. And so in the Dandasana, we'll have our hands by our hips. Nice long spine, belly button to spine. Crown of the head over shoulder, shoulders over hips. Or we can stay here if we wish to test our core. We can just bring up those arms a little bit to make sure we maintain that nice long spine. And then wherever we are, we'll inhale those arms up and exhale. Folding forward, making a little movement with breath, maybe inhaling up, and exhaling, release, and inhale up, half lift, and exhale, release. Doing this once more, inhaling up, and really engaging the core, exhaling, releasing to the deepest expression of our posture. Again, our hands can be at our shins, towards our toes, maybe towards our heels, or maybe we have a belt or a strap allowing us to reach our feet if we can't reach them on our own. And we can inhale up halfway, and slowly exhale, and release. And let's all bring those hands about shoulders distance, and slowly exhaling, one vertebra by vertebra, all the way down, until we've released to the mat. And we can bring those knees into the chest, giving ourselves that nice little sacral massage. And then we'll plant our feet about hips distance. I'm going to come up my mat just a little bit so my head's not off. Making sure those heels are nice and in. And we can take that left leg over that right knee, flexing both feet, pushing that left knee out, or enabling that left knee out, never ready pressure. Either staying here or maybe taking those hands between those thighs and encouraging that right knee back. Or we can always take hands on top of shins, keeping the tailbone to the floor, whatever works best for our body. We just want to make sure there's no pressure in that head or that neck. The only thing that we are extending or stretching is our hips. If we're feeling any pressure elsewhere, we should release. Taking that figure 4. Just encouraging our hips to open a little bit more here. And then slowly we can release that bind if we have it. Bringing that left leg all the way over that right. Engaging the core and bringing both knees down to the right side. Both shoulder blades firmly planted on the mat. Eye gaze can either stay up towards the ceiling or away from that knee for a nice supine twist. And then slowly we can release those knees back up through center, giving ourselves a nice little squeeze. And then planting those feet about hips distance. Taking the second side, right leg comes up and over, encouraging that right knee out to the side, either staying here or moving through our figure 4, flexing both feet back towards us, encouraging that left knee a little bit closer towards our heart. Again, not feeling any pressure in the body. Only an opening of those hips. Just breathing here. And then slowly we can release the bind if we have it with those hands. Crossing right knee over left, bringing both knees down. To the left, both shoulder blades to the mat, they stay nice and anchored. Maybe our eye gaze stays up to the ceiling, or maybe it opens up away from those knees to the right hand side. Just allowing that twist to rinse out that spine, to detoxify that body. And slowly we'll release that cross, bringing both knees back up through center, maybe giving ourselves a nice little hug. And maybe we take one more opportunity for a little core variation. You can take this as a core variation, or you can just take this as a nice little inversion. We'll plant our feet about hips distance. Hands down by our feet. We want those knees directly over those heels. We'll slowly start to peel the spine up, lifting up one vertebra by vertebra, keeping those feet nice and anchored. And maybe we just practice bringing those arms up over our shoulders and then over our head. And then over our shoulders and then back down to the ground. And now what we're going to move is with our breath. As our hips drop, we will bring our hands overhead, and as our hips lift, we will bring our hands down. So what will look as this. And so I will drop my hips while lifting my arms, and then exhale, my arms down, lifting my hips up, and then moving with my breath, waiting for my hands and my hips to hit at the same time, whether they move both down to the floor, arms overhead, hips to the floor, or hips nice and high as my hands come down towards my hips. And so maybe I take 5 or 6 of these here. Just seeing what this feels like in our body. This little cutter position. And the last time we do it, we can plant those hands to the floor, lifting those hips up nice and high. Either staying here, or maybe we start to walk those shoulder blades underneath the body. Maybe even clasping those hands underneath, lifting those hips, lifting the heart towards the chin. Our eye gaze stays towards the ceiling. We never look left or right. And then slowly we'll release those shoulders, release those hands, and roll down one vertebra by vertebra. And of course, bringing those knees to the chest, giving ourselves a little sacral massage. Maybe even planting those feet mat's distance. Bringing those arms out to the side and just doing a little windshield wiper side to side, just to release that from the lower back. Just a nice easy movement with our breath, maybe holding to one side, holding to the other, or moving at whatever speed feels best for your body, for your lower back. And when we're done with those windshield wipers, we'll bring those knees back to our chest, maybe giving ourselves a little hug, maybe even kissing those knees. And then we can release the head, threading those arms through, catching the knife's ends of our feet, and maybe giving ourselves that nice little happy baby, flexing our feet, bringing our hands to either side of our legs, maybe encouraging those knees towards the armpit, never forcing, just encouraging. And this can either be nice and still, or maybe we can even rock side to side, a little rocking happy baby, whatever feels good. Again, either keeping both knees bent, or maybe even lengthening out one leg, bringing it all the way down to the floor. And then doing the same on the second side. Returning to that nice happy baby. And then back to hugging in those knees. And from this point in our practice, can take whatever pose feels good for our body. I will maybe walk through one more inversion, which is our shoulder stand. You can always do a modified bridge with a block or a book underneath those hips, or even a modified shoulder stand again with a block underneath the sacrum with those legs up to the sky. Or if you'd like to take that full shoulder stand, maybe we start to rock those hips up. Maybe walking those hands down the lower back, trying to lift those hips over the shoulders. Again, chest towards chin, eye gaze towards the ceiling, never looking left or right. Eye gaze towards those big toes, and holding this maybe for 4 to 5 breaths. You can do this as a nice still pose, or maybe taking anything that would feel good. Maybe opening up those legs into a nice wide open split. Or maybe bringing one foot forward, the other foot back. Or taking in that half lotus on either side. Or even a full lotus. Whatever would feel good to complete your practice. We'll just stay here for another breath. And then maybe if you took your shoulder stand, you'll start to bring those toes overhead into that plow pose. Either staying here, or maybe bringing those hands back to the lower back and into that rabbit, bringing both knees to that third eye, that forehead, looking like a little rabbit to celebrate our Easter. Or we can even bring those knees to the temple, or snail pose, giving ourselves a little temple massage with our knees. Whatever would feel good for your practice. If you're in that plow pose or any variation, we'll bring our hands down to the floor, toes overhead. Maybe starting to come back up to that shoulder stand with those hands back to that lower back. And then slowly we'll start to roll down that spine. And as soon as that bum hits, we'll slow down, planting those hands to either side, bringing those toes and tracing that nice arc down. How slow can we go? Maybe our last little bit of core work. Moving as quickly or slowly as you'd like to before we complete our practice. Maybe holding wherever it feels hard in our body just to strengthen that core, or coming down just to complete towards our Shavasana or any other pose that would feel good to end our practice. In my Shavasana, I'm going to bring my right leg all the way out to the right side of my mat, my left leg out all the way to my left side, letting no part of my body touch any other part of my body, and just releasing. Just allowing my body to relax, hearing the birds, feeling the breeze, just letting go of any thoughts, maybe returning to the intention I began my practice with today. And you can stay in your final resting pose, however long you might wish to stay in it. I will slowly start to awaken myself from this pose, maybe wiggling fingers and toes, maybe rolling around wrists or ankles. Finding that nice stretch, extending those arms and those legs away from each other. And slowly starting to bend my knees, planting my feet, rolling to one side into that comfortable fetal position. Just allowing my breath to return to my back. And then using the strength of my arms, slowly rolling up towards a comfortable seat. Maybe with my chin towards my chest. Maybe my hands towards heart center, Anjali Mudra. Thank you very much for allowing me to guide you in your practice today. May all beings everywhere know peace and happiness, and may my thoughts and actions contribute. Namaste. Well, thank you very much for practicing with me today, and I hope you all are well and continue to remain well. Namaste.